So this is the trial balance. Yesterday we were discussing about the trial balance, right? So today we will do the trial balance. We'll solve a question and we'll see how to do the trial balance. And from that we'll also make a statement. Okay. So we were doing the tallying thing yesterday, correct? So we will just do the totaling here. So I think we got what here? We got 7,000, 10,000 and 2,500. So 20,500 we had in the receipt side. From this 20,500 we will deduct the payments. Okay. That's 2,000. So we will be left over with 6,500. Okay. Because you know the entire total of this is 14,000. 20,500 minus 14 is 6,500. So we write 20,500 here because our receipt side is more than payment side. And we are left out with a balance of how much? 6,500. Can I write this as by balance carried down? Please tell me. That means since there was a difference of 6,500 here, and I have to show that debit balance is equal to credit balance, correct? So this difference I am showing here as a carry down balance from this side. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now this carried down is the brought down balance for the next date or next immediate month date or immediate date when I'll be again starting my transaction. So to balance brought down. This is in which side? To balance brought down? Which side?
Debit side.
Debit side. So this is the balance brought down in the debit side. This is important. Please remember. Okay. Now point number 2. So here again 7,000 and here nothing is there, correct? So we will write 7,000 both the sides. What is the difference here? 7,000. So we will carry the balance from here to balance carried down 7,000. Again we will what we'll do, we'll again make it by balance brought down next day. 7,000. Correct or wrong? Please tell me. Shall we move forward?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Just give more importance to brought down balance. Okay. Same thing goes here. 1,000. Balance carried on 1,000. Next again payables 5,000. No balance in the credit side, but debit total should be equal to credit total in the trial balance also. So that will be the case which will be showing. Okay, all the debit should be equal to corresponding credits. So for that reason by balance carried down 5,000. So now we are showing both equal now. To balance brought down 5,000. Here there is nothing. So we will just tally 5,000, 5,000. No balance here. No carry down, no brought down. So leave it. Here again. Who are you following? Hello. Who are you following? Hello. Can you hear my voice? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you following who or what I'm saying? I'm not hearing your voice. By balance carried down 3,500. Again to balance brought down 3,500. Again 2,000. So we are doing the tallying part here. To balance carried on again by balance brought down 12,500 down to this. Here no balance is left over, so we have tallied. Brought down 100, 1900 here by balance carried down because the difference is here, and again to balance brought down 1900 here. Drawings, we are closing all the accounts actually and seeing what's the leftover balance. See, generally what are we doing? Generally all the accounts we need to close at the month, at the end of the month, correct? So we close the cash account at the month end, and what we found is this much balance we have. So again next month when we'll be starting the cash account, that means we'll be doing the transactions, cash transactions, and we'll be making the cash account. We'll start with what balance? 6,500, correct? That's the balance we have. Am I right? We are not going to throw it away. We are going to keep it. Again, we close the capital account. How did we close? We found that capital account is showing a balance of 7,000. So we closed it. And again, when next month we'll start with the capital. We'll start the capital account with a balance of 7,000 again. Okay, because that's the balance we have, na? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So every particular account we will be, every account we have here, and every account we are closing, and we are seeing that there is some balance left over. And again next month when we'll start the transactions, again when we'll be like, we'll be taking some loan or not, we don't know, but still that account will be showing 1,000 balance, correct or wrong? Yes. So in this way all the accounts we are closing, checking what's the balance it has like at the month end. Okay, and then next month when we are going to start, we are going to again like whatever the carry forward balance we had, we will bring it down, and again with that balance, which would be the opening balance of the next month, we will again start our activities, and again we'll see in that particular account again more balances are getting added up or not. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So 1,500, again we are closing this account even. Balance carried down, excuse me. To balance down. So Hansika, once check this, you can just have a look at this all balances. Any doubts you can ask me, then we'll make the trial balance. Hello.
It's clear, sir.
Yeah. So now let's go to the trial balance. So balancing ledger accounts is done. So we'll see a point at the end of an accounting period. A balance is struck in each account in turn. This means that all the debits on the account are total, and so are all the credits. So we will total the debit side. Okay, the amounts column, whatever we have, we will total this, and also will total the credit side of the we'll total the credit side amounts. Okay, so suppose this is cash account we had, so debit side amounts we will total, we'll get an amount, credit side amounts will total, we get an amount, and then we'll see if the total debits exceed the total credits. That means suppose in the cash account debit we had 20,500 and here we had 14,000, and this debit exceeded the credit by how much? 6,500, correct? So if all the debits exceed the total credits, there is set to be debit balance in on the account. So Which is the balance here? 6,500 is what? Debit balance. Am I right? We bought the balance here only, not to balance brought down. Please tell me. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you see the debit balance exceeds or is more than the credit balance, have, and if credit balance exceeds have which balance? Credit balance, correct? Yes.
Correct,
When
sir.
debit exceeds credit, debit balance. When credit exceeds debit, credit balance. Okay. So now, and we have seen that. Again, I'll show you one more case. You can see here, when the credit exceeds the debit. So debit side it is $0. Credit side it is 12,500. Credit is exceeding debit by 12,500. Okay. Okay. So we have a credit balance. So balance brought down is what here? Credit balance. Okay. That's what. So whenever you have brought down balance in the credit side, it is credit balance. Whenever you have brought down balance in the debit side, it is debit balance. Here you see the debits of this is exceeding the credit of this. So 2000 is more than $0. Here we have $0. So you have debit balance, and that you can see here to balance brought down debit. Okay, so this is done. Now coming to the next point. They have done some tallying thing also, so we need not do because we have already done that. Now, what is this trial balance all about? Trial balance is nothing but collection of debit and credit balances. Whatever the debit and credit balances you got, where did you get debit balance? So debit balance you will get when debit total is more than credit total, or debits is more than credits. Okay, and credit balance you will get when credit total is more than debit total. So now what we'll do is we will put all the debit balance and credit balance in the trial balance. Okay, so now please understand, I'm starting this like trial balance, and you see how we will. So we start with cash account, and I'll ask you a question. So cash account is showing what balance here? Debit balance or credit balance? Yes. Cash account is showing which balance? Debit balance or credit balance? Here debit is more than credit. So it is showing what balance?
Debit balance.
So what is the debit balance here? How much is how balance here? How much is the brought on balance?
6,500.
So we will put this in the debit side. So we'll write cash account and we'll put it in the debit side of trial balance. So how you make a trial balance? This is the list of balances. This is, we can say, particulars. And this is the amount. This is the amount. This is the debit amount. This is the credit amount. Okay. And since cash accounts balance brought down was in the debit, that means it shows debit balance. Why it shows debit balance? Because debit total is more than credit total. We write cash account balance, or whatever the leftover balance you got, which was a debit balance, in the debit side of, or in the debit column of trial balance. Okay. Now let's go for the capital. Now you should only tell me where shall I write that. There is the see here you have credit side 7,000, here you have 0. So here credit balance is more than debit balance. So it is what? So what's the balance? What credit amounts or total? I can say total credit is more than total debit. So what balance you'll get? Credit
It's a
balance.
credit
So what is the
balance.
credit balance? Yeah, 7,000. So we'll write this in the credit side. So we'll write capital and put the amount in the credit column. So capital amount in the credit column. So here the balance brought down for the capital account in credit side. So we put it in the credit. It shows credit balance. So we put in the, because credit balance was more than the credit total was more than the debit total. So we put in the credit side. Now bank loan. Now I will not repeat this step. I'll immediately put the balances and move forward. You just tell me brought down balances which side. We'll directly put that in that side. Now please tell me where is the bank loan to, amount. It's in the brought down balances in which side?
So, credit
Brought
side.
down balances in which side for bank loan? Hello.
The credit.
Credit side, yes. So we'll put in the credit side. Okay. So bank loan credit. Bank loan is credit. Why? Because credit side total is more than debit side. Finished. So it is credit balance. So that's done. And purchases. Where is the brought down balance? Which side?
So debit side.
Debit, because debit total is more than credit total, so it shows debit balance. So brought down balance is also debit balance. So debit side. So purchases debit. Purchases debit. Okay. In the same way, we'll just post or put all the amounts here. Accounts payable, we will not write this because it got tallied, so no need. Rent, debit balance. Why? Because brought down is in the debit, so debit balance. Debit side will write. And shop fittings also debit balance because the debit is more than credit. So debit side 2000. So both rent and shop fittings debit will write. So here rent and shop fittings debit. Again, we will see what are there the next ones. Sales, like we have the brought down, we have the credit total more than the debit total, so credit balance. So 12,500 credit, and account receivable got tallied, so no need to post. And bank loan interest here is like, debit is more than credit, so debit balance. So this is debit and sales is credit. So we'll see that. So 100 is debit and sales is credit. Now only two accounts are there. Other expenses again debit and drawings debit. So we'll put the amounts in debit and then we'll total the trial balance. And what we see is the debit total is 20,500 and credit total is 20,500, which shows that trial balance is tallied and there is no mistake in the ledger account, whatever you have prepared. Any instance, or if like due to any reason due to which debit total may not match with the credit total in trial balance, then there is an error in the ledger account. Shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So now the reasons also are here. What if the trial balance shows unequal debit and credit balance? See, the debit total should always be equal to credit total in trial balance. If it is not the case, then there can be errors. So a trial balance can be used to test the accuracy of the double entry accounting records. It works by listing the balances on ledger accounts, some of which are debits, some are credits. Total debit should equal total credits. We discussed. If the two columns of the list are not equal, there must be an error in recording the transactions in the accounts. So a list of account balances, however, will not disclose the following types of errors. So you have to now search for the errors. What kind of error you have made? Okay. So what kind of error can be there due to which the debit total is not matching with credit total? Complete omission of a transaction because neither a debit nor a credit is made. That means you have not written the transaction at all, not in the debit or not in the credit side. So definitely if some transaction is missing, your trial balance will not match. Correct? Yes. That means if a debit is made, a credit will be made, but like due to some reasons, if you have not written a transaction at all, omission, then definitely there may be some kind of error, na? Isn't it so? Now, so the transaction because neither a debit nor a credit is made. the posting of a debit or credit correct side of the ledger, but to a wrong account. That means debit and credit are like posted correctly, but in the wrong account. Okay, what do you mean by this? Hello. Maybe some transaction which I have to post in some account, I posted it. Hello. Hello, can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes, yeah, maybe some account, some transaction I need to post in some account, I posted in another account. Debit credit I have given correct treatment. See, debit treatment I gave debit credit, but in other accounts, wrong account. Okay, compensating errors. So example, an error $100 is exactly cancelled by another $100 error elsewhere. Error of principal. Example, cash from receivables being debited to trade account receivable and credited to cash at bank instead of other way around. So what happens? Error of principal means cash from receivables. So you received money from receivables. Okay. So the entry would be cash to receivables. Correct? Fine. But you wrote receivables to cash. That is wrong, na? Correct or wrong? Actual entry is this, but you posted this entry. So that is error of principal, due to which you are posting in your debit you are showing as credit and credit you are showing as debit. So that can be one of the reasons because of which the trial balance may not match. Okay. Now, and sometimes some balance which is 180, you will write 108. Okay, error of commission. So this is also one of the reasons because of which the trial balance may not match. Okay, compensating error is nothing but there is an error you made of 100. So because of which your balance is not getting tallied, so you put 100 somewhere else and you try to tally them or balance them. That is compensating errors. Now there is a trial balance here in front of you. Some of the like faculties or teachers, they tell you what, for all kind of liabilities you write credit, for assets you write in debit, for expenses you write in debit, for incomes you write in credit. But according to me, whatever the ledgers we made, we got the brought down balances. Those are the balances which you need to post in the ledger accounts, which you need to post in the, which you need to write in the trial balance accordingly. If it's a balance brought down in the debit side, if it's a balance brought down in the debit side, if it's a balance brought down in the credit side, you write in the credit side. Okay. Now, so there is some like trial balance here, bank loan, cash at bank, capital, all these things are given to you. Okay. And some adjustment. During 31st 3 2000, business made the following transactions: bought material for $1,000, half for cash and half on credit. So what is the journal for bought materials? It's expenditure. So purchase to cash 500, to payables how much? 500. Correct. Made 1040 sales, 800 of which was for credit. So if you make credit sales, so receivables 800, cash 240, to revenue 1040. Okay. Paid wages to shop assistants to 260. So wages to cash. So did you understand these three entries? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, as I have given you this all four things, liability always you should write in credit side, asset you should write in debit side, expense you should write in debit side, income you should write in credit side. Okay. So bank loan is what? For a normal business, if it's your business, bank loan is what? Asset or liability?
It's a liability. Credit.
Liability. So credit balance, credit side. Cash at bank, asset. So debit side. Capital, it's liability. Okay. In the sense, like if you borrow money, you have to repay. So it is credit side. Local business taxes you have to pay. So like tax is a liability, na? So you have to, like, what happens is payable is a liability, and if you have paid, it's an expense. So debit. So expense debit, trade account liability expense debit, then income, it is credit. Sundry payables is liability, credit. Trade accounts receivable asset, debit. And bank loan interest expense, debit. Other expenses expense, debit. Vehicle is an asset, debit. Correct?
Sir,
Correct or
bank
wrong?
loan interest, would it be treated as an, would it
Expense,
be
na?
treated like we're getting it or we're
No,
paying?
no, we are paying it. How come you can get it? Are you a banking company? Did
No.
they say this is like some trial balance of a bank? No, no.
No, sir.
Yeah, so we'll put all the balances. See, bank loan liability credit 12,000. Okay, cash at bank. If it's a overdraft credit, if it's an asset debit, so this is okay. Capital liability credit, I already explained you. Local taxes expense debit. Trade accounts payable liability credit. Purchases expense debit. Sales revenue or income credit. Sundry payables liability, it's a credit. Okay, trade account receivable is a asset, is a debit. Bank loan interest is an expense, is a debit. Other expenses are expenses, debit. Vehicles is a non-current interest, it's a debit. Okay. And when you see the total, the balances match. The debit total is always equal to credit total. Once I have a look through this, then we'll try to adjust those adjustments. Fine. Journals have passed, we'll adjust, then we'll go for statement of profit or loss.
Yes, sir, done, sir.
Yeah. So the three entries what I passed is purchase to bank to trades payable and cash to receivable to sales and expenses to other expense to cash at bank. So this was the three entries, correct? Now we need to adjust this in the trial balance. So purchases you will add to the purchase account. Am I right? Yes.
Yes.
Your expense is increasing now, so increase in expense you will add, and cash at bank is in the credit, so cash account will decrease. Why? Because it's a payment. Okay. Asset account, when it increases it's debit, when decreases credit, so I'll just deduct 500 from the cash account. And payables, increase in liability is credit, so I'll add to the payables account. Am I right? Yes. So the same thing I'm going to do. See, purchases I'm going to add 1000. Cash account I'm going to subtract that. How much was that? 500, because it's a pay, my cash account is decreasing. And payables I'm going to add 500 because my liability is increasing. Next entry. Now this 240 I got, so that is increasing my cash account. I'll add receivables, I'll add 800 because increase in asset is debit and increase in income is credit, so I'll add to the sales. So 240 and 800 I'll add in the cash and receivables, 240 and 800 here, and 1040 I'll add in the revenue. And other expenses 260, I'll deduct 260 from cash because it's like credit. So like whenever I write asset in the credit, it's decreasing, and expenses increasing in the debit, so I'll add 260 to expenses. And again I'll subtract 260 from the cash. Okay. And then you have these balances after doing all these adjustments, and see the balances are tallying. Okay, please check this. We'll move forward.
हेलो हाँ से बोलो हाँ करते
Yes, sir, done.
So you may be knowing the statement of profit or loss. So the statement of a profit or loss ledger is nothing but like we make profit or loss account in what ways? We make statement of profit or loss, correct? Whereby we take revenue less COGS. But I'm speaking about profit or loss ledger, which is nothing but like particular amount debit credit. Do you remember?
Sir, could you
Hello.
repeat that, sir? Your voice broke.
Yeah, see, SOPL is statement of profit or loss. You start with revenue, you deduct COGS, you get gross profit. It goes like this. Okay. I'm speaking about P&L ledger. So it's like profit and loss account, which you used to make in your intermediate, in intermediate, like how T accounts, T-shape account, T account. So particular amount debit credit. Do you remember? And in debit, you used to write all the expenses, and credit, you used to write all the incomes. Do you remember this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is statement, this is account. Okay, so they are speaking about the profit or loss ledger. So all the expenses would go in the debit, all the incomes would go in the credit, correct?
Yes.
For example, here we'll see what we have. So I'm speaking about P&L. So I will not consider this. Yeah, this I'll put in debit of P&L account. I won't take this liability. Purchases I'll put in debit of P&L account. Revenue I'll put in the credit of P&L account. This I won't take. This I won't take. Those are balance sheet items. Bank loan interest I'll put in the debit. Other expenses I'll put in the debit. Correct or wrong? Yes. So they will show that to you. Hello.
Hello, yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we have all those expenses and incomes account. So we have a balance of some 5,000 in the purchase account. So we need to close this. So we will transfer this balance to which account? P&L account, correct?
Correct, sir.
Because purchase is an expense and that should be shown in the P&L account. Okay, so we'll transfer this to P&L account. And this rent, whatever we have, again we have 3,500. We'll transfer to P&L account. Sales, like see what does it mean? See, purchases. So when you buy goods on credit, it increases your purchase expense. Am I right? So payables is in the debit side. It's a credit purchase. And this expenditure, purchase expenditure, you are transferring to which account? P&L account. Rent expense you are transferring to P&L account. This is the P&L account. And sales, you are transferring this sales to P&L account here. You are transferring this bank loan interest to like P&L account, and you are transferring this cash at bank to P&L account. Okay. These other expenses to P&L account. And now you will write all the expenses in debit side of P&L account. Am I right? Purchases, rent,
Yes, sir.
bank loan interest, expenses, debit of P&L account, because debit all expenses and income in the credit side. Credit all incomes. That's a rule. And when you tally this account, you can get the profits. So see how much is the profit? Please tell. So 2,000. So we have, we will put it here to balance to profits. Why profits? Your income is 12,500 and your expenses are around 10,500. So from income of 12,500, if you remove your expense of 10,500, you see your income like is more than your expense. So excess of income over expense is profits. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how much is the profit? 2000. So that is the profit you have. Please make a note of this. We'll move forward.
Sir, done.
Yeah. Now, now this is the statement. Okay. So in statement, what we'll do with revenue 12,500 and your cost of sales, which is purchases here because you don't have opening inventory and all, it is 5,000. You get gross profit. Okay. And all the expenses you remove, you get the net profit or profit for the year. Okay. This is the statement format. Once have a look through this, then we have to do statement of financial position that we can do tomorrow. Correct? Fine. It's a new topic now. It will take some good
Yes,
amount
sir.
of time. So we can wind up that tomorrow and we can wind up this chapter as well tomorrow. So tomorrow is the end of this chapter. It's only balance sheet thing which we need to do tomorrow. Okay. Once have a look to this, Hamsika, tomorrow we will finish this chapter.
Okay, sir.
Just have a look to this. Then I'll move forward. Any doubts you can ask me. That was T account and this is your profit or loss statement, correct?
Yes, sir. Sir, so we have a statement of profit and loss. This is the account, right?
This is statement. Account I showed you, na? Debit and credit, that one.
Okay, this is the statement.
This is statement.
So balance sheet would be the normal balance sheet only, right?
Yeah, balance sheet is always normal balance. There's no T. See, no. Balance sheet also is like in your 10 in your 12th standard you used to make liability amount, assets amount, correct? That was T account. But
Yes.
now you are making assets you are taking as statement and liability you are taking in this statement, correct? So this is ledger account and that is statement. Understood?
Okay. Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. So Amsika, let's connect tomorrow at 8 p.m. again and wind up this chapter. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.